Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Hardcore. Now in the previous episode we got a lot of work done. We built our gigantic beautiful mushroom over there and it is looking fabulous. We also connected our nether portal to the nether roof and as a bonus hooked that up with our end portal. So we've got a quick trip between the two and it's coming in very handy indeed, because what we also did was build an Enderman farm, and it's a way to get some quick XP, fix up all of our gear, and of course, get a ton of ender pearls. And then lastly, we made some good use out of our chicken coop up there. We built an automatic chicken cooker, which is providing us with plenty of food. And I've been pondering what exactly it is that I wanted to do next, because as you can see, I can keep building all sorts of random stuff, but not much of it is very useful, like this mushroom, beautiful, but useless. I also wanted to set some long-term goals, and that has brought me back here, back to the castle. Now, when I originally built this castle, I thought it was absolutely ginormous, and as it turns out, it was quite large, but it's not the Leviathan that I thought it would be. And I have decided that it needs to be a lot bigger. This is a good starting point, and over time I'm going to be adding bits and pieces to it, making it just grow and grow until it envelops all of the mountains around it and all of the land around it. I mean, if we take a look inside, yes, that is big, but it's not exactly gigantic. Anyway, the plan is to flatten the mountains around it and then just keep adding to it until I can truly and honestly call it a mega base. And as I said, this is a long-term plan. It's not going to happen today. It's probably not going to happen over the next few weeks. This is going to take months and months of planning and just slow grinding to get it the way that I really want it to be. And in addition to making it a true mega base, building a bit more top here is going to allow me to hook up this bridge that at the moment goes absolutely nowhere up to the castle and make it a viable way of entry to the castle, so that everything will knit together very nicely. Now, the next thing I took a look at was the cathedral, and at the moment it's not looking very cathedral-like. I mean, it's gorgeous, I love it, it's big, it's bold, but it doesn't very much look like a cathedral, does it? So what I had in mind was to expand that a little bit as well, make it a bit more cathedral-like. At the moment it's just a solitary tower sitting there, and as it so happens, we have a little bit of space here to the left of it, so I can build it out in that direction, add a few spires and the like, and then we can do a proper interior as well with some pews and perhaps a pulpit, stuff like that. And then finally, the last thing that I still have on my to-do list is, of course, the interior of this mushroom, and it's still in the design phase. I've got some of the redstone figured out, but I don't have a proper idea of the interior just yet. So we're also not going to be working on that today. So what are we going to be doing? Well, first things first, we are flying over to the chicken cooker, because as effective as this is, it is looking rather sad. I mean, look at all this beautiful cooked chicken that it's providing us. I think this deserves a much nicer shell. And that is what I'm going to be doing first today. I'm going to be building a chicken hut, a nice little restaurant where the town folk can come and sit and enjoy some freshly cooked chicken. And I'm going to be doing this not in a time lapse, but rather walk you through the build, and I'm doing that for two very good reasons. Firstly, I didn't plan this at all. I'm going to be designing it as I'm busy building it. And secondly, in true Fungosaurus fashion, I have managed to delete my replay mod file instead of saving it, so I don't have any replay footage of me doing this build. And I'm not going to make the chicken hut a massive building. It's going to be, well, probably small by many standards. It's just going to be a simple little restaurant sitting here, a first step in a bigger plan. And there we go, we have dug out enough space. I've leveled it out at the front here, and I'm looking at the lake and I'm thinking I want to do a little bit of a deck over here where the people can sit, enjoy the chicken, and just have a peaceful time next to the lake. And I'm going to start by laying out a very rough outline for the build in dirt. First things, let's find the middle line, that's over there. However, what I've got planned, I'm going to need a double block as a middle line. So let's put those two down there. That'll serve as my middle line. And then that will also serve as the doorway. So with that done, let's put down some more dirt and just get an idea of the size that we're going for here. And for the design itself, I want to make two little takeout windows on the front here. So people can come down, perhaps sit down at the window, or they can come and collect their orders. And if we take a look at what we've got so far, it looks to be a decent size. However, I think it is a little bit narrow. And I think the roof will also look a bit funny if I do build it this narrow, so I'm bringing it out just a few blocks to the front. This is going to be the new front of the shop. Now let's get that in the right place. And then I think it's time to start building. So I've got a box of materials over here. I've got an idea of the color palette that I'm going for, and it's time to start placing some blocks. And with the framing done, I've got a good idea of the size and of course what I need to do around here. So I'm going to start filling in some walls. I think I'm going to go with some diorite. Now I'm not quite sure whether I want to do just normal diorite or some polished diorite. And we filled in some more of the walls, and as you can see, it is looking pretty awesome so far. I'm putting in a little bit of purple glass on the sides here just to cover it up. And I think perhaps on the takeout window, I'll put a little bit along the top as well, just to get some color in there. There we go. And on this side, I need to fill it in as well. And I'm out of purple glass. Fantastic. I've ditched the purple glass at the front because I want to go for a bit more of an organic, natural look. So I'm using some bamboo trapdoors, and these things really are amazing. They are versatile, they look awesome, and fit the vibe perfectly. Next on the to-do list, I'm framing out the roof. And that is the basic idea of what I want here. I also want to add a special little feature to the front of the building, so this roof gives me the space I need to do that. And I think the next step is choose a block palette for the roof, get the materials I need, and start laying it down. And I've gone for a birch border, and then of course some deep slate tiles for the roof itself. So we're going to have a little bit of a gap between the two parts of the roof, and I'm just going to cover this part with some polished diorite. Oh, that is of course if I don't place it in the wrong spot. And then once again I'm using some bamboo trapdoors to cover up the hole in the middle, carrying on the organic look, giving it a little bit of air and ventilation up here. And that brings us to the final bit of the roof up here. Now I'm out of deep slate tile stairs, but I think it'll be nice to have the deep slate brick stairs up here. And I've capped the roof off with some birch. I'm just going to place a few stairs just to give it a little bit of shape on the corners. So one there, and then just a slab on top. And that completes the roof mostly. Now I did mention a special feature that I want to put on here, and I think it's time to get started on that. I'm going to build a giant chicken head on the front of the chicken hut. Everybody knows a chicken restaurant needs some sort of chicken mascot beckoning you to come and eat him, and we are going to happily oblige with that. And a chicken head is 4 wide, which is why we needed a 2 center. So let's get a look at you guys. And then let's complete this chicken head. I've got most of the features in. I'm just adding a little bit of shading, a little bit of texture to it. And the next thing he needs is 2 beady black eyes. And of course 2 nostrils up front. And let's take a look at our creation. It is magnificent. I love the chicken hut. And it's time to start working on the interior. And of course the deck below where the customers can sit and eat. Now we've built the deck, it's time to add some furniture. And I'm going to carry on with the wicker look over here. I'm using some scaffolding. And then I'm going to place a few chairs down here. Maybe a little umbrella in the middle. Let's put these closer together so they can have a nice little tight-knit meal. And as I mentioned, they need an umbrella so that they don't burn in the harsh sun. And we're just going to... oh, come on. There we go. We're going to use some black glass for the poles. And then at the top, we're going to use some birch trapdoors just to fill out the umbrella. And 2 more on this side. And there we go. First umbrella is done. And after some more thought, I've decided that I want to put a little table in the middle, and I've discovered that some scaffolding plus a bamboo trapdoor makes a beautiful wicker chair. Just look at that. I love it. And there we go. I started off with just 3 spruce trapdoors, but it looks a lot better if I add the bamboo trapdoors, carrying on with that wicker look over here. And just look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. So let's fast forward a little bit. And the chicken hut is complete. I've added some details, some flowers, and an interior. And it is looking absolutely fantastic. I love the way this has turned out. And I've decided to name it after a very special lady. I have named it after my mother. So welcome to Ma Sophie's Chicken Hut. And if we take a look inside, you will notice that we have a wide selection of flavors to choose from. We have honey and mustard, sticky barbecue, flaming hot peri peri, lemon and herb, and of course the house specialty, Robert Spice. And that pretty much does it for the chicken hut, which means it is time to move on to our next project. And for that, we are busy brewing some potions of fire resistance because, once again, we are heading back into the nether. I'm going to be building a gold farm, and for that, I am going to need an absolute mass of magma blocks. It means I'm going to be dealing with some very hot stuff, and I'm not taking any chances. So I'm brewing up a bunch of fire resistance potions. I'm making the good stuff, the 8-minute ones. And then we're heading out to Sheep Island. And once again, into the bowels of hell itself. That dreaded place, the nether. Let me just get my fire resistance potion ready. And here we go. And I'm just going to down this the instant I step through the portal. And the next quest is to find some magma blocks. Now, I know there's a few down here. I don't know how many exactly, but it's a good start. So, pickaxe ready. Let's grab these, and we can actually walk on them because of the fire resistance potion, and it'll also keep us safe from any rogue lava flows. And finally, we are done. We have collected almost 6,000 blocks of magma. And it's only taken me 2 hours, which is quite surprising. But we have what we need. As you can hear, the natives are getting restless. So let's get out of here. And we're back home. With our magma blocks collected, we can just grab all of the rest of the stuff we need. A few hoppers, a few chests, perhaps a lot of glass. And then we can head back to the nether roof and we can start building our gold farm. And here we go. Now the first thing I need to do is check the biome because I need to build this thing entirely in the nether wastes. And it seems we are in luck. This entire area over here is actually a nether waste biome. Now the farm that I'm building is heavily inspired by Ilmango's design, but it is actually my own design. I've built one of these before and I sort of remember how it works. The thing is that my farm works on entity cramming. And once you've hit a zombie piglin and they aggroed on you, they will die and give you experience. So not only will we be getting a lot of gold, we'll be getting some experience as well without having to swing a single sword. And we're going to start by putting down a lot of scaffolding. We need this to go all the way up to build limit. And because we're on build limit, we will get maximum spawns. We won't have any interference from any of the mobs below because they'll be out of spawning distance. Now at this stage, I have to say I have to build this thing absolutely perfect first time. If I make one single mistake, that could mean the end of me. And I'll tell you why. Because of the way the farm operates, I'm gonna have a ton of very angry zombie piglins out for my blood. And if they can reach me, I am going to die very quickly indeed. There's going to be possibly 70 angry zombie piglins at any given time, so this needs to go as smooth as humanly possible. But let's make our way up and let's start building. And our gold farm is finally done, and it is looking quite impressive. It's not the prettiest thing I've ever seen, but it'll do the job. I've tested this extensively in my creative world, and I'm quite confident that I'm not going to die instantly when I start this thing up. So let's give it a try. And I'm gonna freely admit that right now I am super nervous about starting this thing up. As you can see, we've got a ton of piglins that have already spawned. I'm encased in my glass box here. None of them should be able to get to me. They've got the one wide hole right behind me, which they'll fall into and then die of entity cramming. So let's get this thing going. And it seems they don't get angry if you kill them with your bow with one shot. My bow is a little bit too powerful, it seems. I'm gonna have to give this a bit of a weaker shot. So let's pick another target. One of those guys will do. Let's grab our bow and, oh, way too weak. There we go. They are angry. They are coming. And just look at them. Oh, that's a bit of a design oversight I haven't quite figured out. But here they come. Look at that. Any second now, they should be dying of entity cramming. And there they go. And here comes the experience. Just look at that. And we've been AFK for a few minutes now just to see if everything is working properly. And oh no. Okay, I have royally messed up my item sorter. And as it turns out, I have made a completely bonehead mistake over here. I have put my item filters in the wrong hoppers. Now, fortunately, that's a mistake that's very easy to rectify. It's just going to take a little bit of time. First, I need to clean out the mess that I've made here. And now we should have a working item sorter. So let's head up, get the piglings angry once more, and here they come once again. And you'll see I've added in some walkways for the guys from that end so they can come and join the party as well. And it seems to be working a treat. And it's been 30 minutes already, and they are still coming. I am up to level 81, which is absolutely brilliant. But before I label this a resounding success, I need to go check on my item sorter. And we're back, and we can witness the fruits of our labor. And yes, the item sorter is working. And just look at all of those nuggets we have already. Look at all of the rotten flesh. And then the swords go in here and get smelted into nuggets. And the results are in. We have, in 30 minutes, got 20 blocks of gold. Now, it's probably not the most efficient farm ever built, but if I count the gold bars still in the item filter, it gives me roughly 400 bars of gold per hour, which I think is not bad. But that, ladies and gents, is all we have time for today. I really do hope you enjoyed this episode. Leave a like if you did, and if you want to see some more, be sure to hit that subscribe button. But this is Fungosaurus Rex saying, until next time, beautiful people, stay awesome. Bye-bye.